I went one day to have some drink with some friends, and during that drinks, I was just hearing some conversation next to me, and some people were talking about some coaches, some books they have been reading, and I was like, oh, I was just listening to those people the next our next table, and that's how I decided. Like, when I would go back home, I will just go online and look for those authors, and then I started reading their books, like personal development books, like Jim Rohn, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, etc. And then the inspiration came from them. I started reading their books, and then I decided I need to learn more about this. What is this topic? I didn't know about this. I was like, I never learned that at school, and I started reading all those books. And by reading the books, I say, oh, that starts transforming me, changing my habits, changing the way I'm talking, changing the way I'm communicating with people. And then I decided, oh, with just that little learning I'm having now, that little knowledge I'm getting from those books, I can already start sharing.
Wow, what an interesting and what a momentous day in the life of our very most recent and latest author, all the way from Cameroon. Ladies and gentlemen, I have on my guest today, Loatjal Mayi, and he is the latest author from our publishing firm, Lodeta Publishing, and it's a very privilege for me. I have a privilege of meeting Loatjal in one of the most remote places in the world. By the way, he traveled all the way to United States, precisely California, in the Orange County, for a special coaching fair. And I remember back then when we had a conversation on what is stopping him from having his book. Well, I want you to keep your finger crossed because we are going to be getting all the juice details on how it got to arrive at writing this special and amazing book titled Unlocking Your True Potential for an Extraordinary Life. So without much ado, I would like to ask you, Loatjal, to please introduce yourself to the audience. Congratulations once again. And how are you feeling? And let me hear from you. Thank you.
Thank you, Adeola and Lodeta Consulting. Thank you very much for inviting me here today. It's a pleasure to be here. I'm really happy to be here today and to talk to you and to meet all the people that will be watching us here. Thank you very much all the way. I came all the way. I'm originally from Cameroon. I'm going to introduce myself. I'm originally from Cameroon and I live in France. So I'm traveled back and forth from between Cameroon and France. And I traveled all the way to US, and that's where we met as well. Remember, we met there. We went to one of the seminar of Jack Canfield, and during that seminar, I went there just to meet people and also to do the seminar. And I had an idea of trying to write something. I have some draft in my laptop, but I didn't know how to publish, how to edit those things, to edit the book. And that's how I asked the questions. I asked the question like, who can help me to do this? And you were there. That's how we met. And you were there. And then you say, hey, I already published my book as well. I have a company that can help you on that. And that's how we went and we exchanged number and we start being in touch all the time. And now the book is published. And now it's a kind of big accomplishment for me. That has changed my life. That has changed many things around me. And it's just the beginning. It's just the beginning. Very, very, very good experience.
Yeah, wow.
And also, just to introduce quickly also myself, I'm not a writer at the beginning. I'm an IT guy, an IT. I'm a data center consultant. So I help data center to deploy data center everywhere in the world. I'm a data center expert. And it's not my field to be a writer. But now, by having an idea and working with people like you, I managed to publish my book. And this is a kind of a big accomplishment for me because I'm not someone, I was dreaming to do that one day, but I didn't know how to accomplish that goal. And that goal now is accomplished.
Wow, that's so awesome. It is quite remarkable to know that out of that small congregation, that small gathering, back then in Orange County in California with Jack Canfield, we will be sitting together on this day talking about your book. I know it can be challenging, especially for people that doesn't know how. And I can equally remember one of our quotes by one of our mentors that says, you don't have to reinvent the wheel, that success can be duplicated. You can replicate it once you know who does what. And you can be shown the pattern and the model, the way. Then the dream of you becoming an author can be defined and redefined and simplified.
Yeah, it's just
Congratulations.
about meeting the right person at the right time. It's just a kind of good timing. If I didn't go there, probably today I would have not published the book. So probably I would have met you. So that's a kind of combination of, we don't know how that's happened, but it's happened, and we use that opportunity to be in touch. And now we are in touch to do many things, to publish books, and probably another book will come again later. We never know. So that's a kind of a life-changing experience for me. And that's how things happen.
You have just rightly said, 100% on spot, on. Because I want to say to you that from the idea of you believing in yourself, that your story is valid, and that you don't have to wait for somebody to give you a validation to write about your passion, to write about your experience, and to talk more about. So let's go into what was the first inspiration for you to write on this topic, unlocking your potential for an extraordinary life.
Yes, I can come back to how I start doing learning about personal development, because that came from that. I went one day to have some drink with some friends, and during that drinks, I was just hearing some conversation next to me, and some people were talking about some coaches, some books they have been reading, and I was like, oh, I was just listening to those people there next our next table. And that's how I decided, like, when I would go back home, I will just go online and look for those authors, And then I started reading their books, like personal development books, like Jim Rohn, Jack Canfield, Tony Robbins, Napoleon Hill, etc. And then the inspiration came from them. I started reading their books, and then I decided I need to learn more about this. What is this topic? I didn't know about this. I was like, I never learned that at school, and I started reading all those books. And by reading the books, I say, oh, that starts transforming me, changing my habits, changing the way I'm talking, changing the way I'm communicating with people. And then I decided, oh, with just that little learning I'm having now, that little knowledge I'm getting from those books, I can already start sharing. So that would be a kind of legacy I can leave just by participating, by sharing the thing I'm learning, I'm practicing, to help other people, to inspire other people to do the same. Other people can also share their story. We all have stories to share. The problem is sometimes we don't find inspiration, we don't find the courage, and we feel like it's complicated. It's just a question of meeting the right people at the right time to share our story on books, etc. So the inspiration came from reading those personal development coaches, their books, etc. And I decided I need to learn and practice and share also, participate in this kind of legacy of leaving something. Even today, if I die, I know that I already wrote the book, and people can read it later. So that's where the inspiration came from.
Wow! I love that. That every one of us has a story, and embedded in that story are layers of wisdom that can help redefine the problem and the solutions that our world waiting. So by you just releasing that desire to your world, you don't know how many lives that will in turn be changed. Because I want to imagine your story, leaving the shores of Cameroon at a young age to go all the way to France and live in Paris and to become all what you have been able to accomplish within that space. There's a lot of wisdom, a lot of life experience that you must have accumulated. And I love the fact that you are now using this book to package all your life philosophy and every of those things that have made you who you are today into something that other people can come and learn and be able to become better. Thank you.
And my goal is to return as well, to share and to make a return on investment. Like, I'll invest in myself, and I want to share that with other people who have been living in Cameroon and Africa, Nigeria, all the countries in Africa. Go back there and share also the knowledge I'm getting, and inspire them to tell their story, because in Africa as well, a lot of people have different stories, and they just don't have the opportunity to write those stories. So I'm inviting everyone who have a draft or something somewhere to reach out, to ask for help, how to write my book, how to write my story. So people that can inspire other people to write or to listen to their story and say, okay, this person wrote this book, that can give me a solution of my problem now, because the book is also to give some solution to some problems, And for example, unlocking your potential is to help people to unlock their potential that they have been within them. They don't even know that they have a potential within them. We all have a potential. The kids, everyone, we have a potential, but sometimes we don't know about it. And by reading those principles that I'm sharing that in the book, you will start knowing that you have something within you that you need to work on to unlock your full potential.
Awesome. I love that. And I remember a quote by Albert Einstein, that says, everybody is a genius But if a fish judges his inability to climb a tree, he's
Yes.
going to consider himself a failure. And every one of us has got our own genius zone, and it's all about how we are able to unlock it. Now let's talk about the writing process. Which of the series, I know when you came, you were just like, I don't know what you're gonna write. It's like everything is not. Let's talk about the process when you came across Lodeta and you decided to go with us to help you, give you the necessary support to get your book started. I want you to share with us what were those stages or the book process. What are those stages in the process that were kind of surprising or exciting or challenging, or how did you see it?
Yeah. As I was saying in the beginning, I have a kind of draft in my email, in my laptop, so, but I didn't know what to do with this. I didn't know where to go, where to head, and where to put my head, and who to contact, etc. So meeting you and your company and all the team members there was a kind of a dream, a kind of wow. Now I can just focus on finding the ideas, the story, and focus on my story, and that's release a kind of stress, because you are writing something, but you don't know how you're gonna, what the system behind to on editing and publishing something. And when you want to become an author, and you have to stress about that, like you don't know how you're gonna publish your book or how you're gonna edit it. When you find some people who can help you on that part, that this is under control already. You can just focus on your writing, and they will help you with the rest. And that was very, very, very great. A great team. I've been working with your team. They are very supportive. They are very helpful. They keep in touch all the time, sending you message every week just to know how everything's going. If you can send us, I remember you pinging me all the time, asking me what's the next step. Let's go. Don't give up, because sometimes you might give up, and that was also my case. Because it's my first time. But that was my first book. I was like, okay, I don't know. I'm gonna write this. I'm gonna remove this. I don't know if that's good. I don't want to share my whole life there. Oh, I'm the fear of judgment of other people as well. Like you fear of how the world will see your story. People will know about you. You'll be exposed. That's crazy, like being exposed, being exposed in the whole world because you are writing something. All the people will read your book. So you have to be sure that you want to do this. And sometimes I have that doubt. I have that fear. Like, I don't want to share this. I'm not confident sharing my life there. People will know me, and and then you came to talk to me, say that you become the advantage of you sharing something that at last that will stay even when you die, and that's a kind of good story that you are sharing. You're inspiring people by doing that. And that gave me the strength to continue writing. I say, okay, I'm going to share my life. I'm going to just say, be authentic, share the truth, and I don't care. And when you have the mentality, I don't care, and that's give you the strength just to go ahead.
Exactly. You know what? What you have just said is the fact that everything you are considering as your disadvantage is the very thing that is going to distinguish you. I remember one of my mentors said, that very thing that you feel is going to disqualify you, you're going to look odd, you're not going to sound like one of those, that is the very thing that is going to distinguish you.
Yes, that's
I remember you sharing your story from decade to decade, when you could not just imagine you sitting down and avoiding mental block. And you started out with, and we were able to adopt the documentation through you just by voicing your ideas, and all the recordings being done. You send me some voice notes, some of those recordings, every of those things, sharing them decade by decade from birth, and all the stories that surrounded how your life was being shaped until now. So that alone is something that is priceless. And for everybody that gets to hold a copy of that book, there is no how they will not come to terms to how strong your legacy is. So I want to use this to just celebrate everyone out there that is aspiring to do this, and they are having a feeling of second guessing themselves and feeling that, oh, my story does not really count. Nobody's going to be blessed or is going to be challenged or motivated by a story. I want to tell you that very thing that you thinking disqualifies is what is going to distinguish it, and might be what somebody needs to hear to revive and rekindle hope for a better living. So thank you for sharing. And then I want to ask, what is the most out of the sessions that we had? We have various various sessions going into months that we just keep up going back and process, and eventually we ended up having 2 versions of your book. Can I have you hold the book and just let's see? We have the French version after we completed the the English version. So awesome. Can I see the book? Your book?
Yes, I have
Yes.
the English
Yeah.
version. I even have the
Okay.
French version as well.
Okay.
Unlocking your
So this is the English version. Wow.
Yes. And the French version I have as well here. Let me
So
just
can you imagine you are serving 2 audiences at the same time? So we have your book both in English and in French
French.
version. So for every one of you out there, the book is live on Amazon. But wait a minute, the book is going to be officially launched come next week, Saturday, May the 17th, 9:30 a.m. Eastern. I'm going to be dropping the details on the description for this video so you can get to join via Zoom. And so that is it. That is it. I want to say congratulations again for your special book. And I want to ask, because this is just the beginning, is there a special message that is central to you that you want this book to, to spearhead all over the world, that you want one major thing, one why that you want this book to unlock for anybody that gets to hold a copy?
Yeah, I want that book to inspire generation and generation of people, even people who are who are struggling today, they struggle in their life, they know that they can find a solution in this book. They can find inspiration in this book. My goal is to inspire people, even if I'm using it as well to do some workshops, some seminar, but my goal mostly is to inspire people to go unlock their potential. They have all the potential within them. And by reading that book or other books of personal development, but I'm encouraging you to read that book very quickly, because you have many principles, many fundamentals that you will learn, that I've learned also from other coaches, but I also mix that with my experience, with my life experience, and I put everything in that book. That if you read it, you will have a lot of ideas, and then you will get some ideas that will change your life as well. So that's my goal, to inspire you to go find your best life, to become better in your life, to be the best version of yourself for the future.
Yes, that is the word. For every one of you listening, to become a better version of yourself, to believe that you have something in you that is unique to your world, and to never allow the world to define you lesser than who God Almighty has made you. So whatever your calling is, whatever it is that you've been nogging, that you have been hiding inside of you, or that story, or that philosophy, or that expertise, or that passion that you have, Loatjal is telling you that you can unlock it. And the secret to you unlocking that extraordinary life is in you discovering and giving life to what is already inside of you. And you don't need to go anywhere. And so now that you're an author, what is next? Tell us more about the launch and what other things you have in store for us.
So we have the launch on a Saturday, 17th of May, starting at 5 p.m. CE time. So that's mean like 11 a.m. US Eastern time, and 4 p.m. West African time. So during the lunch, we will talk. You will have all the questions you want to ask to me. I will be there available for you. I will talk about 2 chapters of the book, 1 or 2 chapters that I will go in detail if you want to ask me a question about those chapters as well. And there will be many people also coming to join that lunch. So don't miss it, because there will be a big event. I just encourage you to book now. There will be a link that Adeola will share here to book your seat, because many people will be coming. So I encourage you to book your seat, because I want to know exactly how many people we will have there. And the goal is to just have like a kind of a party, a launch party about the book, the celebration of the book. And if you have something that you want to ask to me directly, don't hesitate. I will be there for you for the whole time during the lunch.
So that is already telling us that Loatjal is already your coach or the go-to person. If you have ever thought of looking for how you can unlock your extraordinary life, is opening up is time for you. When you come for the launch, you'll be able to get more details on how you can work with Loatjal, such that you can also be able to unlock your potential for an extraordinary life. Wow. Any other parting shots? What other things what will you be saying to people that are aspiring to become an author like you? What will be your advice to them?
How people want to become an author, my advice is just to have consistency, to implement some habits, because I got those habits from reading those books of personal development coaches. So every morning I used to have a draft. I used to write a draft of what I want, what is in my mind. Like every morning, very early in the morning, like 4:30, 4:45 in the morning a.m. So I just wake up. My habit was writing something before going to work and do my morning routine with that. And so if you want to become an author, start drafting something, everything that comes in your mind, all the ideas that you have. If you have an idea of sharing your story, start writing it out, start drafting your story. And don't wait till you have a whole book full of story to start contacting people. You can contact Lodeta Consulting, Publishing. They can help you as well with some example. They can help you with their system because they have been helping a lot of people about on that. So if you already have a draft somewhere, you can reach out to them. They will help you. They'll give you some ideas. And although with those ideas, you will expand, you can also make more stories. You can also share, you can have some ideas how you can drive your story, how you can make it more readable, and then also the system is very clear how they explain you exactly how it works. That should make you more comfortable on just for you to focus on your writing instead of focusing on the system, how it works behind. So start drafting your story, be consistent on that, persevere. Don't let people tell you that you cannot be an author. Just start writing every day, every week. And then you will see when you meet people like Adeola with the team, they will be able to help you to finish your book, and they will publish it after that. So that's how I start doing my things, and now I've become an author. And probably I'll start drafting a second book by next year, by the end of this year, for example. And next year you might get another book from me.
That's a good one. Congratulations.
Thank you.
So you can imagine how the journey that started with rough notes, rough voice notes, here and there, journals, notes, ideas scattered, have all been joined and put together to form a full, complete book. Going through the editing, structuring, then designing the cover, making the layout superb, then getting it very crispy and having the book right in your hand now. Every one of us has got what it takes. When you are ready, it is all about taking the right action, like Loatjal has done. He came to us with this idea, with a rough idea in his mind, with those jotted journals here and there. But today you can see he's a proud author of a title that is in 2 different languages, in English language and also in French. And come live by 11 a.m. Eastern next week, Saturday, 17th May. This book is going to be launched live. It's a virtual launch and you can join from anywhere in the world. I'll be dropping the details in the description. Please go ahead and join and also get a copy of the book so that you can begin to unlock those potential that have been waiting for years all this while. Wow. So it's been a privilege chatting with Loatjal Mayi, the remarkable author of Unlocking Your Potential for an Extraordinary Life. The insight that he has gotten and everything that we have been able to support him in bringing to life this impactful book is all what you can also enjoy. And I want to ask you to please go ahead and send a DM or also click the link below to have an access to our free clarity session where with our expert guidance and support, Lodeta Publishing can help turn your own idea into reality, just like we did for Loatjal Mayi. And let's embark on that incredible journey together. And I can't wait to see you. So congratulations once again, Loatjal. And I can't wait to join you come Saturday live to support the launch of your amazing book. And everybody, it's bye for now. Thank you for watching. And those of you that watch on the replay, please go ahead and book the call. And I'll see you next time on this station. Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.